good evening, everybody. Good morning and good afternoon. I think it's very symbolic, but my image is not very visible. The back of the Magdalene, who is much more important compared to me, and I will say it's showing how generations will pass away, but some of the key legacies will stay for all of us. And I think that what we're memorizing today, it's critical not only for Armenians, but also for the world. And I think it's critical what we are facing now, the new challenge, which Nubar touched, it's a key issue about the human values, how you behave in your family, what will be your response. I think we're facing unique situation when we are remembering the people who've been killed or died 105 years ago, but at the same time we're paying tribute to the people who today continue living on behalf of his grandparents, and we are, I think, sending the main message which we've been developing at our Nubar many years ago: be Armenian, be alive. And I think it's be alive, being staying human, keeping the key human values, and looking forward, remembering your past. I think the key message is, but we need to know the history of all our human. Been always a lot of tragedies and a lot of things happen in history of any nation. But I think the key point is stay human and looking forward and remembering your descendants, but trying to live a better future for your kids.
Thank you, Ruben. That is already taking my next question in a way, because on one side we are have a 5th anniversary celebrating 5 years of Aurora. And when we are looking back, we have incredible stories. We have inspiring modern day heroes. But I also wanted to look ahead and ask you actually about your vision for the future. And I mean now, not so much Aurora, but I mean the future of Armenia. Maybe you can add a few words on that.
I'm happy to say our main answer to our enemies and our friends who've been helping us, what we can do, not only remember, but become strong, successful, and happy nation. And I believe this will be best what we can do against the always type of the declining or rejecting the story what happened 105 years ago. Our main answer to this will be, we will be best, successful, happy nation who will really help others and contribute to the world, doing something important to make the world better. So what we're trying to do in Armenia, and we're trying to show is like example to other countries, especially the small countries, but you can develop yourself despite not being very rich, using your talents inside of the country and outside of the country. You can really do something that people will be proud of being recognized like Armenian, not only because of history of Tikran the Great or some other great people who've been in our history, but because of the current Armenia is really becoming attractive and really creating the absolutely unique example of success of people doing their own future, building their own future, and using the network of the diaspora, the network of people who are friends of Armenians, and not doing for ourselves, but also doing for the world. I think it's one of the best way to build our future, be part of the world, at the same time keep our identity, keep who we are, remembering who we are, but at the same time being part of the global movement to trying to make this world better. And so I was trying to do in our projects in Armenia with last 20 years. This year we're also celebrating Armenia 2020 project, which was started with me and many of our friends and our families 20 years ago when we started to think about future of Armenia. And I'm happy to see a lot of things have been achieved, a lot of things have been not achieved, but we've been doing it with our friends and partners. And I would say thank you all our colleagues and partners support our projects, and we can see something which we've been doing. It's giving some results back to the Armenia and also to the world. And I hope this is the best example to building future, knowing your past and relying on your past.
Thank you, Ruben. We actually have time now for questions, to answer questions. And I would like, Ruben, just to add a question that came in and that is fitting perfectly to what you just said. The question is, as a philanthropist and an entrepreneur, what changes do you think we'll see in the field of humanitarian work after the COVID-19 pandemic is under control? And of course, also the other panelists might answer, but I think, Ruben, you have your thoughts on this.
I think the pandemic crisis creates some new reality, which we need to all accept. It's not only a question how long we will stay in quarantine, how long we will stay in isolation. And by the way, this is a unique situation, but in one hand, we all locked down in our own flats and homes and basically isolated very, very locally. In other hand, we're very globally connected, which means we are depending on what's happening in the world. We are looking what's happening in the United States, what's happening in China. It's showing how, despite we're locally, or we are global, part of the global picture. I think one thing the pandemic will create is the changes of offline, online proportion of our life. It will change our behavior, it will change our culture, it will change our economic and financial situation, but it also will create a lot of opportunities, because this new reality will more and more show with the humans will becoming the main driver of transformation of the world. We'll need to have a good ecosystem where we're not only getting good compensation or good some real estate or cars, but also we have a good system of the neighbors, of families. I think we are going back to some of the key points which we maybe lost for 50, 70 years, doing less attention. It's not just earning money, but also being happy, because we're staying now with our families, and it's interesting to see how surprisingly we're facing the new reality, but we're spending more time with our family members. We're spending more time with our neighbors because we're relying on them. I think it's a good example of the, in one hand, see the technology transformation of the life around us, and at the same time, going back to the key human values, key human behavior, and key element, which also we're facing in the hospitals when you need to make a tough decision about whom you will save and how you make this decision, who will make this decision. And I think it's our dependability from the system, or whatever we name it, state, will become, in one hand, more, and will be more and more dependent. System will provide us some security and some safety. At the same time, we'll be more and more reliant to our own independence and our own decisions and our own responsibilities for our own personal life. That's why we'll have a more extreme online, offline, and combination of these two elements. We'll have a more extreme of the state controlling and regulating us. At the same time, our own life responsibility will be under our head. I think we'll be more looking about technology transformation, and same time going back to human values and basics, which was being developed thousands of years ago. So I think we have a unique time when this extreme element, which nobody see it, can be combined and become more important and will be merged together, which will be, we will see the new reality. I think it will be unique for all our kids, and I hope we can learn the lessons. I hope we can learn how we can handle this stuff with the tough questions together, because what I believe, only together, only talking to each other, only spending time together, only sharing experience and pain and everything what you learn for others to get something to find a solution, we can go together. I think it's illusion what somebody sitting somewhere can make the decision for us and help us. I think it's gone, and it will help people to realize what we need to be more proactive, building our own future, our family's future, or our nation's future.